Large wirehouses had temporary reputational issues. I think they have very much retained their value. All the wirehouses very much have broad-based, full-service platforms. The reputational damage is largely a thing of the past. And while it's true there are other business models that are drawing some of their advisors, I think the wirehouses have now again become good, solid brands. One of the biggest changes, which I think is a change very much for the good, is now advisors have unprecedented freedom to choose what their business model is. An advisor can decide if they want to be affiliated with a wirehouse or regional brokerage firms, be a hybrid in the independent space, or in fact join or establish an RIA. And I think those are very significant and beneficial changes for brokers. What's happening now is that advisors are really expecting that their recruiters can be, not just the guy who knows the deal, which I would say is good, but not good enough. They're really demanding that their recruiters basically serve both as career advisors who can help them review the pros and cons of each business model. And then if they decide that they're at a point in their career where they want to entertain a change, they're looking toward their recruiters to be able to quarterback a very serious due diligence process. Wirehouse deals in a general sense for top people who have a ratio of commissions to assets of 1.5 or less. Top deals are in the low 100% up front, up to a maximum of about 140% up front. Then 3 years later, if you bring over, if you're back to where you were in terms of assets and production, the total package with the back-end bonuses is about 250%. If at the end of 5 years, you've increased your gross and assets by 50%, then the packages, could be 300 or 330. They vary a lot, actually. See, some of the independent firms are often, you have to look and see who they custody with. Several of them have multiple custodial relationships, and then many of them have added on to whatever the custodian itself provides. So actually there's a lot of differences amongst independents. Some have different specialties. I don't think you should return every recruiter's call. Most wirehouse advisors are getting 15 calls a week. And a lot of the people who are calling really don't know very much anyway. Choose a recruiter just to have a relationship with, even if you're not at a point where you want to make a change, just to have a relationship with someone who's very knowledgeable and who can keep you abreast of industry changes that may impact your business. I think that there's a great demand for knowledgeable advice givers, and I think the pool of people that will need advice is in fact expanding. So I think that if you're an advisor with something to offer and you're reasonably good at marketing, I think the future is very good. And even back to, or just interjecting advisor demographics, the number of advisors is actually shrinking. It's a very hard business to get into. So I think that if you're someone who has an established practice, I think the future is very bright.